Well, some have accused Germany of dragging its feet for months now in helping Ukraine with tanks, and the country now has a new defense minister. So we have Sibel Karkush in Berlin, but first let's speak to risk analyst Alex Kokcharov in London. Alex, since April, we've been hearing from Germany that yes, they will help Ukraine with tanks. First, they wanted to do some kind of exchange, remember, saying that they would send new tanks to places like Poland if Poland would send its old tanks to Ukraine. What is it with Germany at this point?
Well, there are a lot of questions. A lot of people were expecting a more robust response from Germany when Russia started the large-scale invasion of Ukraine back in February. But many other countries have been much quicker to move. And this includes countries in the east of Europe, including Poland, which was sending quite a lot of Soviet-era equipment to Ukraine. And this was really helpful because Ukrainian armed forces do not need time to learn to operate these machines because they know how to operate Soviet-era equipment. And also UK and US were obviously supporting Ukraine throughout with significant deliveries of weapons and ammunition. So there is mounting pressure on Germany right now, including from other countries in the EU, such as Poland. And I think the meeting of the Ukraine contact group, the so-called Ramstein format meeting on Friday, will be really decisive.
You know, NATO always talks up unity as being one of its most important elements, that all the members obviously need to be unified and show a single force if it's going to be influential. Of course, Germany likes to present itself as the leader of European security. But in this case, many analysts have said there's just not a good reason at this point to resist sending heavy equipment to Ukraine. I mean, Germany has cited the risk of escalation, but many say, well, how could it get much worse than it is right now?
I agree with you. I think we are past all escalations because we've seen Russian missile attacks on cities across the country trying to destroy Ukraine's energy infrastructure and to let Ukrainian people freeze to death during the winter month, and also obviously striking on residential areas such as the latest attack on Dnipro. So I think Ukraine needs all types of weapons which can be supplied to so that it can defend itself against a foreign invasion.
Okay, and we're just getting this news in, Alex. I want to ask you about this. Crossing the wires, that the top U.S. military officer has traveled to a site near the Ukraine-Poland border and talked with his Ukrainian counterpart face-to-face for the first time. I guess underscoring the growing ties between these militaries. What do you think of that?
Well, obviously, Ukrainian military are being trained in countries of NATO, and this includes Poland. And there is a lot of information sharing taking place. And Ukraine has been receiving a lot of military equipment from Poland, but also from other NATO member states. And this ultimately leads to increased military integration of Ukraine in terms of logistics and equipment. In the and training as well in the NATO military structures. Well, Ukraine obviously is not a member of NATO, but its cooperation with individual member states of NATO leads to it being de facto partially integrated into the NATO structures.
All right, good points, Alex. Good to talk to you. Let's cross to Berlin now.